Oh, that was a lot of numbers in my brain. Let me tell you, back then it was a struggle. Today. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Shirley if you're new, and if you're into these types of videos where I talk about luxury, fashion, and travel vlogs of my life, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more. And in today's video, I'm going to be explaining my experiences while shopping in Europe and kind of doing a cost breakdown of everything that I bought in Paris a couple months ago. So without further ado, let's get started. First, I'm going to be talking about my experiences while shopping in Europe. But if you want to go straight to the cost breakdown, please feel free to do so. So I've actually been shopping in Europe since 2016. Wow, that's a very long time, almost 10 years. And I always knew that shopping in Europe was significantly cheaper, but I think in the most recent years when TikTok kind of blew up and people started sharing their experiences, unfortunately due to all the price increases, I know that it's been translated worldwide. So the items that you can save back then is not as much as you can save now. I still think shopping in Europe is still a lot better than shopping here in the US, mainly because the US tax prices are just insane. So my experience in 2016 is kind of foggy a little bit, but I do remember that when shopping in Europe, you can't buy two of the same items. I don't know if that's still the same case here. So let's bring it back to my first time shopping in Europe. So in 2016, I was studying abroad in Europe, and me and my roommate would go luxury shopping here and there, and we did get something, and surprisingly we saved a lot of money. I remember buying my mom a wallet that was under $500, which is insane because right now the wallet costs about $1,000, which is the amount of money I saved is insane. I do believe that shopping in 2016 was a lot better. I don't know if it was because I was studying abroad and I was shopping during work hours and also like the weekdays, that it was not crowded at all. I felt like I would just walk into any stores, not have to queue up in line. I just walk in and they had the items that I had and somebody helped me right away, and also the stores were completely empty. Again, I'm not sure if it was because I was shopping during work hours and during the weekday because I was still in school. So fast forward a couple of years, in 2019, I went to Paris and London with my family, and we designated a whole day just to shop because after 2016, I told them how much money you can save in Europe and everything, so we wanted to make a trip out of it. Literally shopped till we dropped. It was so tiring. I remember in 2019, there were no lines. Like, there were no queue-up lines to get into the store. The minute that I walked into the store, I was helped and I got to see the items that I wanted. And every item that I wanted, they had stock, which is amazing. And I also know that with Chanel, the classic flaps are hard to get now because they're just so rare. I remember in 2019, me and my family bought 3 classic flaps, which was so insane. And they're both great colors because they were black with gold hardware, and I know that's the hardest combination to get today. And what's even crazier was that those 3 classic flaps were all before Chanel started to do their crazy price increase. So a small classic flap was like probably under $3,000. What also was really great was that if that boutique did not have it, what the sales associate did was they called the other boutiques to bring their stock over. And I don't think they do that now, because if you were to go to Chanel right now, I'll talk more about it later, but you can't do that now. If that specific store that you're in does not have stock, I don't think they will call another store to bring product in. Shopping there wasn't crowded at all. Like, I felt like I had so much space, and it really felt like an intimate experience that someone was helping us, and the whole store was empty. But I also don't know if it was because we were on vacation and it was like probably on a weekday, so I don't know if that plays into a factor in it as well. So fast forward a couple years, we were all stuck in quarantine, can't travel, but once traveling went back open, I went to Switzerland with my friends, and we all know Switzerland is not a cheap country to travel in. It's genuinely very expensive to live there, but they do have luxury where you can save on taxes. Now, my most recent experience in 2023, when I went to Paris with my best friend just for a quick weekend shopping trip. I specifically went to Paris to shop. This time shopping in 2023 was completely different from all my other experiences because I think by this time TikTok kind of blew up how much money you can save in Paris and all that. So the lines were longer, the wait times were longer, and it wasn't, and every store that I went to was just so crowded. Yeah, it was a weekend, so maybe that added to it as well. But oh, I spent, like, we dedicated a whole day to shopping and we barely just hit all the shops that we want to. With Chanel, it is the longest wait. So the first thing that you do for Chanel is like you go into the store, you talk to the host, and you put yourself on a waiting list. And usually the wait times are about 2 hours. But the good thing is you can like go to other stores and shop around and they'll text you when you're up. But be sure when you see that text, you better run to Chanel to go. And I felt like they were trying to hide the product from me because I wanted a specific like SLG, and usually they would just pull out a tray for it, but they didn't really do that. They just really pulled out the specific ones that I asked for. And I just didn't feel like how I felt previous times when I was in Chanel in Europe. This time around, it just felt so like crowded. There was just so many people at Chanel, and the wait times were, I waited 2 hours for Chanel, and the first one that I went into, they didn't even have any of the items that me and my best friend wanted. Stock in Paris is not the best at Chanel. They do have items more seasonal than like your iconic pieces. So yeah, with Cartier, I just love Cartier. Like I went to the same boutique and there was a wait time. Like I walked in, I put my name down on the waiting list, and someone came to grab me like maybe 30 to 40 minutes after of me waiting. You know what's really funny? I sat at the same desk that I bought my first Cartier piece from. It was different essay. I wish it was the same sales associate. I did ask for him, but he wasn't there anymore. Now with Celine, I actually went to Celine while I was waiting for Chanel, and oh gosh, Celine also had a waiting list. I was like, oh my gosh, and I was like, I think I was like starting to panic a little bit because I was on the waiting list for Chanel, which was only like a couple stores down. I knew that Celine, I was absolutely for sure getting something, but with Chanel, I was unsure if they had like any stock that I wanted. And my best friend tried to go to Dior. And because we were just trying to, because with all these waiting lines, we had to separate and do what we needed to do. And in Celine, I didn't wait that long. I did wait a little bit, and then someone came to help me, and they had stock for me except one item. I wanted a Boston bag, but I couldn't find it in stores. But overall, Celine, I felt special. You know, I like to feel special when I'm shopping luxury. I'm shopping like thousands of dollars. I would like to feel special. And then with Hermes, this was my first time going into an Hermes in Paris. So I really don't have an experience to compare it to. I would think that there would be a queue, but there was no queue in waiting. Insane. I literally just walked into the store, got to look at all my items. To compare, shopping in Europe today versus back then is completely different. You definitely would have saved a lot more back then because right now there's just so much price increases, and on top of that, people know that when you shop in Europe you do save money, so tourism has increased. The wait times are just so much longer. The stores are a lot more crowded. Overall, that was my experiences while shopping in Europe, and I hope this kind of like gives you a little bit insight of what it was back then and also today. Now let's do the cost breakdown of everything I got in Paris a couple months ago. If you want to know what I got, I did do an unboxing video and I also did a Paris travel vlog if you guys are interested as well. So let's get started. I'm going to be letting you guys know how much it costs in the US after tax, what I paid for initially, how much I got back, and what was the total cost of the item overall, and then how much I saved per item. And first brand is Cartier. I did buy one bracelet from there. My bracelet would have cost $871 after tax. And in Europe, when I swiped my card, I got a charge of $950.04. And I got back a tax refund of $113.45, which means I paid a total of $836.59. In terms of saving, I only saved $34.41. Not a big difference here, but if you add my experience while shopping in Cartier, even though it didn't save that much, in my heart, I feel like I saved a bunch. With Celine, if I were to buy my bag here, it would have cost $4,300.56 after tax. After I swiped my card, it cost me $3,314.10. And I got back a tax refund of $366.67, and I ended up paying a total of $2,947.43. And overall, for that item in Celine, I saved $1,353.13. Pretty big difference with Celine. And with Chanel, in the US, my wallet would have cost $734.91 after tax. And then in Europe, when I swiped my card, it cost me $695.96. I got my tax refund back and it was $83.36. So it means for my wallet, I paid a total of $612.60, which gives me a total savings of about $122.31. Now with Hermes, in the US, I would have paid $871 after tax for my belt. When I set my card in Paris, it cost me $729.10. The tax refund was $57.94. I ended up paying $671.16 for my belt. I saved a total about $199.84. That was a lot of numbers in my brain. Overall, I saved a total of $1,709.69 while shopping in Paris. However, you can see with some stores you do save a significant amount. Shopping in Europe for Celine is by far the best savings you can possibly get. With Hermes too, I think with Chanel and Cartier the prices are pretty much similar. Maybe you get like an extra buck or two for savings. I do know that with Chanel, after all their price increases, it's harder to save in Europe than it was in the past. So take that however you like, but that's the cost breakdown of everything. In order for them to process your tax refund, you need your passport. Make sure you keep it safe because there's a lot of pickpocketers in Paris, and just make sure you keep your passport because not only is that your way to save money, but that's also your ticket home. So make sure you have your passport. So the process is very simple. They will handle everything. They will tell you exactly what you need to do, what to sign, everything. So you would actually be getting like these. I'm not going to show you guys exactly what's in them because they do have my passport information on there, but you get like a bunch of these, and inside comes with your tax refund paper. Make sure you have your purchased goods and your tax refund in your carry-on. Make it accessible, so don't check it in. However, you can check it in. They don't check it in most times, but I remember back then the process was so much harder. Guys, let me tell you. Okay, this is just like a story time.
So back in 2016, I had like an 8 a.m. flight, so I had to be there at 6 a.m. And like, I wasn't sure if customs approval would be at 6 a.m. So I remember, and you had to get it stamped when you leave Europe. So I had a layover in Barcelona for like 2 hours to get back to America. And within those 2 hours was not enough time for me to like leave the departures and then also kind of check back in and everything. So I had to do everything at 6 a.m. when I got to the airport initially. Oh my god, let me tell you, it was hectic because I was by myself at 6 a.m. like scared. I was scared, okay? I was still a college student trying to get this stamped approval, and it was crazy. So I had to like, I still remember the experience so vividly. It was an empty airport, and I had to go to the arrival section into some like shady ass place. I had to pick up a phone on the wall. And mind you, I was in Spain. No one spoke English. And I had to pick up the phone and say customs. And I don't know what instructions they came out. I remember waiting there for like maybe 2 minutes, but it felt like an hour to me because I was all alone in this shady place. But luckily someone came out and they physically stamped my thing. It was absolutely like... And then once you get your stamp, that's all you need. All you need is get that stamp before you check in, and then I checked in, and then when I got to Barcelona, that's when I did the tax refund and I submitted the paperwork. So, let me tell you, back then it was a struggle. Today with technology, it's so much simpler. So
right before you check in, you find like a kiosk, and all you do is scan each of your barcodes. So much easier, and then if it's approved, you're good. And most of the time, it gives you a green check mark and means you're good. If not, you just seal the envelope and put it into the box that's right next there. If you want it automatic, you can get cash right away, but you do get more back if you were to tell them to put it back onto your credit card. So I did that way, and it took about 2 to 3 weeks. I got everything back with less than a month. And that's it to this video. This video was pretty fun to film because it kind of brought me back to like 2016 days. I almost forgot that I went through such a crazy process to get a tax refund back in 2016. If you have any other questions about shopping in Paris and tax refund, how much money you save, please leave me in the comments down below. I think the process is like fairly simple, and you can find a lot of videos on TikTok, and the information is just out there in the world that shopping in Europe is cheaper. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and as always, if you enjoy this video, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and hit subscribe for more. It would really help support my channel. We are a little over 500 subscribers and I can't thank you enough, and thanks for watching. Bye guys!